Okay. With all praise and glory to the Most High, let's continue. Let's look at the book of Matthew, 5th chapter. Matthew 5 and Matthew 5 and 31. Just give, clarity to what it is that, someone will go into the New Testament and go here. Once I read Deuteronomy 24, 1 down. So I'm going to show you a little clarity here. In Matthew 5 and 31. It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. So we just read it. Deuteronomy 24, 1 down, right? But I say to you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication. Remember, it said uncleanness. Remember? In Deuteronomy 24 and 1, because he hath found some uncleanness in her. So here, Mashiach will try to give you to understand. You put away your wife, saving for the cause of fornication, uncleanness, causes her to commit adultery. If you send her away and she have not committed fornication, cause her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her, that is divorced, committed adultery. See, it was clear. The law was clear. He's not, remember, he didn't break any law, so he give you the understanding. Why was you divorced? Because I committed fornication. She didn't commit a fornication. Whoever married her committed adultery. See? So he let you know. You got to have a clear reason, and that's fornication, as he said. Go to Matthew 19. Let's start at verse 3. The Pharisee was trying to come at Mashiach Yahushua with their misunderstanding of how everything was, how they wanted to be. See, Matthew 19 and 3. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? So we know the cause was what? Uncleanness, fornication. You already identified that. Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for any reason? And he answered and said unto them, have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they two, shall be one flesh. Don't you know about this? Wherefore they are no more twain, no more two, but one flesh. What therefore the Most High have joined together, let no man put asunder. Don't let nobody come in between the marriage. Verse 7. They said to him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? Remember, they tempted him, trying to tempt him. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. Most High, he said he hates separation. It was not so in the beginning. And I said unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication. He said the same thing. And shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away, doth commit adultery. See? His disciples say unto him, if the case of the man be so with his wife, it is good not. He says it's not good to marry. He says it's not even good to marry. They hearing what he said. He says it's not even good to marry. If we can't divorce them, except for fornication, why would they say that? That's what he said in verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marry her which is put away, does commit adultery. His disciples said to him, man, in the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. But he said to them, all men cannot receive this same, say they to whom it is given. So everybody not going to receive this. But there are some eunuchs, these are men that never lay with a woman, which were so born from their mother's womb. And there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men. And there are eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. That's deep. He's letting them know. That's why Paul said he wished all men could be as him. Every man, do what he got to do. If he feel he's burning, let him marry. All saints, they said. Look at now we know he done said it twice. Why a man can divorce his wife. Now, you don't see women divorcing their husbands in the Bible. Look at Ecclesiastes, because the 25th chapter and verse 24 to 26. Ecclesiastes, because in the Apocrypha, verse 24 to 26 of the 25th chapter of Ecclesiastes, it says, of the woman came the beginning of sin. We read the judgment of Eve and to women, Genesis 3:16, earlier. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die because of what she did, eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So get a water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. That's why I say you gotta put rules and regulations on a woman. They can just let her do whatever she want to do. A wicked woman. See, if she go not as thou wouldst have her in righteousness. Remember, the reason why you get rid of your woman, divorce her, because she has committed what? Fornication, which is uncleanness. If she go not as thou wouldst have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. Thus said the Most High, thus said the Mashiach Yahushua. If she have committed fornication. Now, understand this, because when you look at fornication, a lot of people try and evolve adultery with fornication. Give you understanding so on this matter, because we've been taught a certain way. And look at Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter and the 12th verse. Remember what Mashiach Shai said, the reason why you can divorce your wife or your woman. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12, it says, for the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. See, idolatry. Or dealing with whatever the gods of the nations are in a lot of these religions and so forth. Spiritual fornication. Stop honoring the Sabbath, dealing with the first day of the week, worshiping the sun, Nimrod, Semiramis. Start following Christmas and Easter and Halloween, all these holidays. Has nothing to do with the Most High and Mashiach Shai's holy convocations that we read in Leviticus 23rd chapter. That's fornication. And the invention of them, the corruption of life. See, the invention of these idols, the things that are contrary to, thus say the Most High, is the corruption of life. Corrupt your life. She's become a Gentile. From an Israelite to a Gentile. Now she want to corrupt you like Eve did Adam. You got to learn from you. Most High told us, you go back to Genesis 3 and 17. Most High first thing he told Adam, because you have hearkened unto your wife, and eaten of the tree that I told you not to eat of, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Curses the ground for your sake. Listen, verse 13, for neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. See? So now it goes to talk about Caesar Borgia. You know, that so-called white image. Just giving you an example of an idol. One of the main ones against us, the children of Israel. That so-called white man that they painted as Mashiach Yahushua. They call him Jesus Christ. In 1492, Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci painted that picture. Caesar Borgia. I mean, you looking at people going back to the churches, they have that picture up in the church. It was an Israelite, now they went back. That's fornication. Or you looking at, you with a woman and she don't believe. But she's trying to get you, just like Eve did Adam. You'll fall into this fornication. You better hear what the Most High is saying. So that's spiritual fornication when you start dealing with idolatry. Idolatry is anything that's contrary to the laws of the Most High, His commandments. Because you will start doing things that's contrary to the Most High. You're going to corrupt your life. And your life going to be corrupted because you're going to find somebody with you that's corrupting your life, so you got to deal with going and get Christmas presents. You're supposed to be celebrating Feast of Dedication, Feast of Purim, you know, and so forth. All the holy convocations that we have as Israelites. But now you following back to the world. What else they gonna do? They're not doing the things that we do in the truth. What do they have to lean on? Nothing but the world. Spiritual fornication. That's why I tell you, look, you don't know, you knew the truth and you done went backwards. So yeah, man's supposed to get rid of you if that's the case. That's what it tells you. 2 Peter 2:20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world, that's all these different holidays that they have set up. Human night sacrifices and so forth that the elite are doing. You don't know nothing about that because you just following suit of what everybody else is doing. In darkness, gross darkness at that. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of our Master and Savior, Hamashiach Yahushai, this big black man that walked the earth and died and shed his precious blood for we, the children of Israel, they are again entangled therein. You going back out there? Where you gonna go? But backwards, going back out to the world to be devoured by the devil. He going up and down to and fro on the earth, seeing who he can devour. He gonna send all his imps, more so than what it is that you could imagine, a complete number to destroy you. They're again entangled therein. You can go back out in the world. That's the only place you can do. That's the only thing you can do. Go back to church, some religion, and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. It had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. It had been better for you not to know the way of righteousness. What's the way of righteousness? Let's find out. Since all y'all want to say you ain't under the law, but you've been in this, you've been down with a brother that was in the truth, and now you out. Deuteronomy 6:25. What's his righteousness? And it shall be our righteousness if, that's condition, we observe to do all these commandments. This is how you be righteous, doing the commandments before the Most High our power, as He hath commanded us. So you just start doing the commandments, all of a sudden you're going to leave. Go back to those that say we ain't under the law, but we're under mercy and grace. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. 2 Peter 2:20. Verse 21. For it has been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. It's been better for you not to know the laws of the Most High, living as an Israelite, applying the laws of the Most High in your life, having faith in the Most High, fear the Most High, crying to the Most High. It's better for you not to have known righteousness than after they have known it, after you have known the way of the Most High, to turn from the holy commandment. Hear that? To turn from the holy commandment, to live it unto them. You know, you learned it, lived it, and applied it in your life. Now you done pushed it to the side. Go back to nothingness. Because what is it if it's not of the Most High? You ain't got to follow Him, His rules and regulations. It's nothing. But it had happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again. Hear that? Again. So you was like a dog licking up his own vomit. Therefore you came to learn the truth. You went back to being a dog that's licking up eating his own vomit again. And the soul, the nasty, filthy, nasty hog pig that was washed, and you know you was washed. You cleaned up by the word. And to her wallowing in the murk, wallowing in the slop. The nasty, filthy doo-doo and everything else, eating his food out of the slop or a pig slop. That's how he look at you. Ain't nothing on it. Rope, I didn't write this. I'm just a messenger. You gotta deal with the Most High. You got a problem, deal with him on it. That's why it's very important for you to find some way to continue to learn this truth. The Spirit never stops. Look, go to Matthew 12 and 43. Matthew 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, and we're dealing with women. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man or a woman, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. See? You done left the truth. You done left learning the in-depth of all the basic instructions before leaving the earth. This Bible, all the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High that's here, you done left that. Then this unclean spirit say, I'm going to go. Return into my house from whence I came out. I'm going to go back into the house I came, the body I came out of. And when he has come, he findeth it empty. You know what he said? Empty, swept, and garnished. You don't remember no precepts no more. You ain't really started to know precepts because you ain't tried to study to show yourself approved to the Most High in the first place. Or whatever it is that you know, whoop, Most High took away from you. That's why he said that unclean spirit comes back into that body, say he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Oh, you ready for me? But listen what he gonna do. Then goeth he. This is, what was this? This unclean spirit that we read about in 43. Verse 43. Then goeth he, this unclean spirit, and taketh with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. Do y'all realize 7 is the number of completion? A complete number of spirits. Remember, Legion was 2,000 spirits. So we're going to take a complete number of spirits no matter how many it takes to do this. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. A complete number of spirits, 7 numbers of completion. A complete number of spirits goes into this person. Wicked spirits go into this person and dwell there. And the last state of that man or woman is worse than the first. Like I said, it's been better for you not to have known than to know. You've been cleaned up for the pollutions of the world, and you done went backwards. Say it's been better for you not to know. That's why you go take a complete number of spirits, go onto the person, and the last state of that man or woman is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Oh, you couldn't say it clearer than what this is saying to us in this wicked generation that we're dealing with right now. That's why it's best to take heed and don't fall into what it is that the world would have you set up for, and that's hell. The world set up to send you straight to hell with it, if you're gonna go. Otherwise, you better take heed and stay steadfast in this truth. We're in the last days, people. As a messenger of the Most High, this day and forevermore, hear the word of the Most High. Hear the Mashiach Yahushua before it's too late. This is what it says. Go to 1 Corinthians 7:29. 1 Corinthians 7:29. But this I say, brethren, this I say, brethren, time is short. Time is short. We know it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And you're going to make the time short for the elect's sake. There's going to be no flesh left, he said. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Can you relate to that? They that have wives, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. But what you got to do in this work, in preparing ourselves, our nation, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. They that weep as though they wept not. Stop crying. Stop complaining. Stop wailing out. And they that rejoice as though they rejoice not. You all happy? Say, hey, just like you ain't rejoicing. And they that buy as though they possess not. They that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away. You hear that? You got to deal with everything that's coming out, everything that you think, you see, you want. It's coveting. You coveting everything. This world going to pass away, like you said. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Most High, the Mashak, how he may please the Most High. But he that is married care for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There's a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman care for the things of the Most High, Mashak, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. Praising the Most High, doing the things that you can do to please the Most High, the Mashak, how she may be holy, pure and righteous and true. In body, in her body, taking care of her body, and in the spirit. Carnally and spiritually. Still righteous. But she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. See, that's what old married one's supposed to be doing. Caring about the things to please her husband. Look at verse 39. Say the wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, if he die, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only Bahashama Mashak in the name of the anointed Savior. Rolling in the spiritual power. But she is happier if she so abide after my judgment. And I think also that I have the Spirit of the Most High. See, I think I am rolling with a Mashiach Yahushua who came to me on the road to Damascus. And I think I'm suffering for his name's sake. And I do believe I have the Spirit of the Most High. He's saying. Something he spoke by permission. The Most High allowed to write what it is that we see here. Just a good chapter here for everyone. 1 Corinthians 7 chapter is a very good chapter to go over, and it's a lot of key points here. Which time reveals a lot that I want to cover. We might come back to it. Cover more principles. But I mean, you can go over it yourself. It's pretty self-explanatory. As a lot of these scriptures are. It'll take a rocket science to break them down. Look at 2 Ezra 16 and 40. We're getting near to these end times. That's what it says. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. You might have to be moving around. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth, as one that will lose. You buying everything, one that's going to lose what you buy. He that occupieth merchandise, as he that have no profit, buy it. Let me read that again. He that occupieth merchandise, as he that have no profit, buy it. And you ain't receiving no profit, which is merchandise that you have. And he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein. He that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth, you're a farmer, you planting seed, as if he should not reap, as if you're not going to really reap your crop. So also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry, as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers. And therefore they that labor, labor in vain. Verse 439. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. And you know, we're in the end times. Verse 46. For strangers shall reap their fruits, and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. We done been through this. We know about this. It's going to be reversible. It's going to be reversed with the people that's going to have to deal with building our cities and so forth. The strangers. But this is what happened to us. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, meaning you're going to be robbed. The more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, said the Most High. So all y'all out there living it up, adding addition to your houses and fixing this up and fixing that up, Most High said, the more I'll be angry with you for your sin. You ain't under the law, remember? But you're under mercy and grace, and you're a Gentile. You're not even an Israelite. You say, Most High gonna be angry with you. Hear what it said? Because of your sin. Said the Most High. Verse 49. Like as a whore, envious, a right, honest, and virtuous woman, a whore gonna envy a righteous and a right, honest, and virtuous woman. She gonna envy her. So shall righteousness hate iniquity. Hear that? So shall righteousness, those that's keeping the laws of the Most High, hate sin and the sinners. When she decketh herself, and shall accuse her to her face, when she cometh that shall defend him that diligently searches out every sin upon earth. And therefore be ye not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof. For yet a little, and iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth. Hear that? We read about it. And righteousness shall reign among you. See? Look, let not the sinner, those that break the laws of the Most High, say that he have not sinned. But let the sinner say that he have not sinned, broken the laws of the Most High, his rules and regulations. For the Most High shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which said before the Most High power, and Amashak Yahushai and his glory, Amashak Yahushai, I have not sinned. Come on. Read it again. Let not the sinner, that's the sin is the transgression of the Most High's laws, say that he hath not sinned. For the Most High shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which said before the Most High power and his glory of Mashiach Yahushua, I have not sinned. Behold, the Most High knoweth all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts, their minds, how they think. Which spake but the word, let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heaven be made, and it was created. See? But let's go back up here to verse 53. Say, let not the sinner say that he have not sinned. Don't let the sinner say that he have not sinned. You know, they teach in religion that the Most High hate the sin, he don't hate the sinner. Listen. Let not the sinner say that he have not sinned. For the Most High shall burn coals of fire upon his head. Coals of fire, that's burning up. Burning you up. Coals of fire upon his head. Coals of fire upon your head. Which said before the Most High and his glory of Mashiach Yahushua, I have not sinned. But the Most High done called you a sinner. Let not the sinner. That's the man or the woman that sinned. So what's going to happen? The Most High told you. Amos 9 and 10. Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners, those that have broken the Most High's laws, statutes and commandments, his rules and regulations, all the sinners of my people who are the 12 tribes of Israel shall die by the sword. So he's going to kill you. You're going to be put to death. Which say that evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. See? He said he's going to kill you. Now look. From there, go to Revelations 20. This is it. Verse 20 and 15. This is the judgment. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Right? Gonna be cast in the lake of fire. With who? Verse 10. And the devil that deceived them, that's cast in the lake of fire. Because your name ain't written in the book of life. And the devil that deceived them, that lied to them, was cast into the lake of fire too. And brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. See? You don't want to be with them. So let's go to the kingdom. Isaiah, the last book of Isaiah, Isaiah 66. And let's look at verse 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, what's I going to create a new heavens and new earth? Which I will make. He said, you know, the Most High going to make this happen. And as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, said the Most High, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon, this is in the kingdom, y'all, from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, said the Most High. So we're going to come to worship before the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, the new moons, the Sabbath day, and the holy convocations, which are Sabbath days. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. That's where? Burning in the lake of fire. And the women. Where? Burning in the lake of fire. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched. Remember, they're going to be burning forever? The worm not going to die. The worm's not going to die. Neither shall the fire be quenched. And they shall be an abhorring, a hating unto all flesh. But it's going to remind us, hey, you can be next. This is the kingdom, y'all. Verse 22, for as the new heavens and a new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me. That's the kingdom. But we're going to have to see this. After having a great time, he's going to let us know, hey, back to reality. You see that? See them burning in the lake of fire? The worm never died, the fire's never quenched. That's serious. Whew. Mashiach Yahushua spoke on it. But that's the Old Testament. Go to Mark, the 9th chapter. Mark 9. Mark 9 and 44. Verse 44. So whether a worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. Verse 46. Whether a worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. Verse 48. Whether a worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. See? So don't get it twisted. Mashiach Yahushua, a lot of y'all don't really know him. Y'all don't know. Y'all think y'all know of Mashiach Yahushua. You don't know him as you should. So we have to look at these scriptures, go over this, so that you can be worthy. To be one of his righteous saints. And follow his orders. Go to 1 Peter 5. In verse 4, it says, and when the chief shepherd, who was Mashiach Yahushua, shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. When the Mashiach Yahushua comes, say, you're going to be able to receive a crown which is power and authority. That's never going to fade away, he said. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all you be subject one to another. We got to be subject one to another. And be clothed with humility. Got to be clothed with humility. For the Most High resisteth the proud. Hear what he say? He resisting the proud. And giving grace to the humble. Grace is getting something that you don't deserve to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, that he may exalt you in due time. Because he said, he that exalted himself shall be abased or be brought low. He that humble himself shall be exalted. So I say, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, through Mashiach Yahushua, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. That's enough said. Daniel 7:28. Daniel 7:28. Hitherto is the end of the matter. So I hope that was edifying. I hope you will go over these scriptures and study and let it be to you sincerely. And if you'd like to reach me, Freestyle Wam, you can reach me at P.O. Box 20012, Long Beach, California, 90801-3012. Or you can send donation and alms and anything you can help the ministry to grow to the P.O. Box, or you can send it to paypal.me/Shield of Wisdom. SHIELDOFWISDOM. If you have a PayPal account. Or send it to the P.O. Box. Very much needed. And with that, I'll say much love to my brothers and sisters. Most High bless. I'll show my Mashiach Yahushua, and I'm out.